Welcome to Enjoying Marital Bliss with Judith Daniel Imagoro. I'm so excited because you tune in today. I'm going to unpack ways you can turn your marriage around. Yes, ways you can turn your marriage around. And I tell you that this will be so helpful to your marriage or to your relationship. I want you to know that a healthy relationship is not by luck. A healthy relationship is not a gift. It takes deliberate actions and deliberate investment, just like it is in every area of life. You can't wish to be financially successful. You have to do something. You have to know how to be financially successful, and you have to do something to have it. So also is your marriage. The proverb says, through wisdom a house is built. He said, by understanding it is established. He said, by knowledge the room are filled with precious and pleasant riches. That is relationship for you. Through wisdom, you build a relationship as you keep applying knowledge. And you keep applying the knowledge you know, and you're discharging it through wisdom. You build a beautiful and a successful home. The good news is, whatever stage your relationship is right now, it can still be restored. Whatever stage, this secret I'm going to be sharing with you today, I have used it to counsel people you will consider to be in a very bad shape. You think that relationship cannot be restored. And I have seen God restore those relationships with this secret I'm going to be sharing with you with the help of God. So I believe that your relationship, whatever stage you are right now, whether you are even having a good relationship already, good marriage, but you're just looking for ways to keep making it, to keep having a wonderful relationship, this secret will work for you. I'm going to be talking about, in this video, I will talk about few points in today's teaching. Then I will talk about the other point in our next videos, in our next two other videos. So it's in a series. I'm going to talk about the part 1 today, 2, 3. So it's 10 ways you can turn your marriage around. So we'll talk about some of the points today. We'll talk about the second part and the third part. So I want to encourage you, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe at Judith Imagoro Ministries. Don't forget to click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we have new videos. And please follow us on Facebook at Judith Imagoro Ministries and share this broadcast. And you will use it. I believe someone will be blessed through you. So ways that you can rebuild or build your marriage or to turn your marriage around. Number 1, you have to learn to applaud your spouse. It is very important. In other words, learn to praise your spouse. See, it is not people that have perfect life that praise God, but people who have life. So also, it is not people who have perfect marriage, or is not a person who have a perfect marriage that praises their spouse, but someone who have one. It is not somebody that have a perfect relationship that praise their spouse, but someone who have one. So learn to appreciate and applaud your spouse for the little sacrifices they make into the relationship. And if you tell me, hey, I do not see anything to applaud him for, or I can't find anything to applaud her for, that speaks of your character, not them. So it means that all the sacrifices they've been making in the relationship, you'll be taking it for granted. You think you think the sacrifices they make is your right, instead of looking at it as a sacrifice. So look for something to applaud your spouse for. It is very important. You will be so amazed how that turns your relationship around. How just praising, acknowledging what they do, applauding them for the little contributions they make, how that turns your relationship around. I tell you, any person in your life is making contribution. Some make very huge contributions, some make very little. But any person that is around you, some even make bad contribution. So know that any person in your life, somehow they are making contribution to your life. Not to talk of a man or a woman that you're married to or you're in a relationship with. They are definitely making contributions. Their contributions may be very small to you. If you want to see them make huge contributions, learn to applaud them for the small one that they are doing right now. That little contributions they are making, if you learn to applaud them for it or praise them for it, you will be surprised how they are willing to put in more. I want you to remember, we were created after the image of God. Praises does something to God. The more you praise God, the more he blesses you. So also is your spouse. The more you take time and begin to find reasons to applaud them, the more they are looking for ways to put more in the relationship. I want you to know that. Stop comparing your husband or your wife to someone. A lot of people are comparing their relationship to something. They are either comparing them to the movies they watch, they're comparing them with their father, their mother, they're comparing them with their fantasies. And as long as you're comparing your spouse with something or someone, some are even comparing them with their exes. As long as you're comparing them with someone, you will never remember to appreciate them or praise them. So I want you to know that every one of us is different. Our life is different. You can't compare one person. You can't compare your spouse to another. We were deliberately created equal by God and deliberately created to be different. I want you to know that we're deliberately created to be equal, deliberately created to be different. So our experiences in life is different. Our lifespan is different. Our purpose are different. So you cannot make the mistake of comparing your spouse with someone. You will never be able to praise your spouse if you keep comparing them with your friend's husband or your friend's wife or your mother or your father. Learn to appreciate what you own. Appreciate your children the way they are. Appreciate your spouse the way they are. Appreciate your life just the way your life is right now. Be comfortable with yourself. Be happy with what you have. Be comfortable in your own skin. It's very important. That will make you to appreciate life. Because if you don't appreciate life, you will never be able to praise any person around you. Recently, somebody sent me a message telling me of a post that I posted on Facebook and that I forgot to put a punctuation mark. I thanked the person, but I said I don't care. I don't care, because what I'm doing with my life is to look for, stay in the presence of God, pray, look for practical solutions to help real problem. I can't be bothered about punctuations or mistake in English. And the person says, oh, we were giving language for a reason. I said, God gave us language for a reason. I'm sharing this example because I want to point out something to you. He said, God gave us a language for a reason. I said, God did not give me English language. God gave me a sign language. English is my second language. So I can't be bothered if I'm not perfect in English, but rather I am appreciating daily what I'm doing. I will not allow what I don't know or what I'm not perfect in doing to rob what I can do best. So my business should be unpacking what God creates me, what God has created me to do, and bring solution to real life problems, not whether I forget punctuation or I have grammatical errors. That is not sincerely my business. So what am I saying to that person? I am comfortable in my own skin. So you have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to appreciate yourself, appreciate your spouse enough that you're not looking at someone else. Is there room for improvement? Yes. You can improve on anything, but don't allow where you are right now or what people have and you don't have make you to stop appreciating what you have appreciate what you have, so that you are able to praise what you have because you appreciate it. So it is very important that we know how, we look for ways to appreciate our spouse daily. It is very key that we know that. If you don't love what you have, you will lose good stuff. If you don't learn how to love your spouse the way they are, you will lose him or you will lose her. It's only a matter of time. So it is very important that we learn how to, find that thing that your spouse does best and appreciate them for it. Remind them for it. Let them know that you notice. Somebody shared with me recently how her best friend started making passes at her husband. And she said, her friend have a husband that is very financially comfortable, can buy her anything, brand new cars. But her husband barely can, her own husband, with the friend is making passes at, can barely afford anything. But he's there to make dinner, he's there to take children to school, pick them back. He's there, supporting the family. So this her friend with a rich husband have suddenly forgotten all the comfort and the luxuries that she have, and now is looking at someone who does not even have what she has. And do you know a lot of people make that mistake of comparing their spouse with another person to the point that they forget the good side of their spouse. We have to learn to appreciate what we have so that we are able to praise what we have. I tell you, if that woman does not turn around and begin to appreciate the kind of husband that can buy her the world if she wants to, then she will lose what she has. So it's important that we appreciate you appreciate what you have. It is very important that you don't just appreciate it within you, you say it out. You praise them to their hearing. Praise your spouse from today. Begin to praise your spouse to his or her hearing, and see how that turn things around and turn the atmosphere of your family just by learning to praise them, focusing on what is working and know what is not working. And that way there will be a turnaround. So how do you praise your spouse? Number one, recall. It's very important. Recall their good intentions, not their last mistake. It is key that you know that. Recall their good intention towards you, not their last mistake. Be intentional about it. Then appreciate them. Talk to them about it and say, do you remember how you did this and did that and did that? I really love that. And some of your spouse might have even forgotten they did that, but just reminding them, makes them to know that you're thoughtful of what they have done, of the little sacrifices they have made in your relationship. See, the difference between people who fall out of love and people who are continuously in love is this secret. That's just the difference. See, if any person fall out of love with you, it's not because their heart is no longer capable of loving. No. It is because you're no longer speaking to their heart. That's just the truth. But if you learn how to speak to the heart of your spouse, no one can take your place in their life. This is a very great secret that you can practice, and you will see the environment, you'll see your relationship turn around. Just because you now know how to appreciate your spouse, you are appealing to their heart. And then on their own, they begin to respond to you. Praises does to every human being the same thing that praises does to God. It's very important. I said it before, we're created after the image of God. So anything that pleases God pleases a human being. So if you will remember to praise your spouse and not talk about the things they don't know how to do, the things they don't have all the time, and compare them with other people, you will see the miracle in your family within a space of time. For some people, within the first few weeks, you begin to see that miracle take place. and your spouse, initially they start feeling, would this last? Because that is not you. The normal you will not remember to appreciate or praise them. They start feeling, they'll be relaxed first, looking how far you can go with it. But the moment they see that you're consistent with it, you will see your relationship turn around, like a miracle. So what are the ways you can communicate praises to your spouse? How do you make them to know? How can you praise them? Number one, you can speak it to their hearing. It's very key. Let them know. Praises does not take anything. It's from your mouth. You speak it to them. Number two, you can send it to them through text message. If you have a relationship that have been badly affected, maybe by quarrels, by you not appreciating anything, sometimes when you say to your spouse hearing, they might argue it. So if you know that's the kind of relationship you have, what you should do is to text it to them. Number three, you can write it in a paper and leave it where you know they can find it. So, and as they find it and read it, they will be surprised. My wife have completely changed. My husband have changed. I tell you, this will begin to bring the miracle that you want in your marriage. Number two, secret on how to turn your marriage around is to sow positive words into your relationship daily. Now, the first key gave room to the second one. They are similar, but they are not the same. Now, you can do this in two ways. By sowing positive words to your relationship daily, you can do it in two ways. First and foremost, I want you to understand, every relationship is a product of words. Your marriage is a product of words. So you have to understand that. And it's a product of positive words. When your spouse came to you, if you're a woman, and your husband came to you, definitely he was speaking positive words to you that made your heart to fall in love. When you met your wife, she was responding with positive words and character that made you to fall in love with her. So every relationship is a product of words. The heart falls in love with positive words and positive actions. So if you are that person who wants to build a healthy relationship and want to stay married, you have to be conscious of what you say to your spouse. It is very key. Words are the water of marriage. Words are the lifeline of every marriage. So how do you do this? You speak to the hearing of your spouse and you speak to the firmament. So there are two ways you can speak positive words to your relationship daily. You speak to the hearing of your spouse and you speak to the firmament. Please do not allow your feelings of anger to ruin your relationship. That every time you're angry, you must sow negative words. Please stop. Because, see, if you give someone anything, they have anything, you can go back when you change your mind to take it back and say, I'm sorry, I do not wish to give you this gift or whatever. I wish to take it back. But when you say negative words to any person, you can't take it back. Even if you apologize to it, there is no way you can wipe it away from their mind. So be careful when you're angry. Don't speak negative things to the hearing of your spouse and you speak it to the firmament just because you're angry, because your life goes in the direction of your words. A lot of people that are divorced today or really going through crisis in relationship didn't get there in one day. They kept speaking the word, I will leave you one day. I'm done with this marriage. I'm done. They say wrong things. And those words stays and wait for them in the future. And then in the future, it becomes a reality. Be careful what you say when you are angry. And if you're watching me today and suddenly your marriage is dying, you have not been sowing positive words. For a long time, you've been sowing negative words. That's why you're seeing it dying right now. But thank God there is always a second chance, for you to begin to restore your marriage, rebuild it by saying something good to your marriage every day, speaking life to your marriage and not speaking death. And suddenly things will begin to take a new turn. You have to speak life to the hearing of your spouse. They have to hear it. And then you speak it to the firmament. And it's very key. Now, you just can't speak life from your lips. You have to speak it from your heart. Because if you keep having negative image of your spouse in your heart, there is no way you can speak positive words. That will be pretense. The Bible said, as you thinketh in your heart, so you are. You can't speak what you are not in your heart. So what does that mean? The positive words have to start from your heart. You have to pull. Now go to the first point we talk about. Pull a good, they are good intentions. Keep them in your heart. Put a good image of your spouse in your heart. Then because you are happy with them in your heart and the image they carry in your heart is good, then you can begin to sow positive words to their hearing and positive words to the firmament. But if the image you have of your spouse in your heart is a stupid person, that is what you will say. You won't know when it comes out when you're angry. But if the image you have of your spouse in your heart is, this is a kind man, and he's going to be a great person, this is a wonderful wife, that is what you will speak to them. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. He said, the word says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So if you have enough good things of your spouse in your heart, your mouth will say it. So you need to first and foremost change the image of your spouse in your heart. Then you will be able to speak positive words to them. Take from the point one that we discussed today and major on their best. So everything in your heart is majoring on their sacrifices, majoring on their best, not their last mistake. I am teaching you this practical, tested keys that I have used for years now to counsel people from different ethnic groups, from different races, and it works. There are universal principles. For instance, if you drink water or you wash your body with water, you will feel refreshed. And that does not know race. That does not know color. It is just a universal principle. That is exactly what I'm teaching you today. This principle does not know race. It does not know color. Anyone who practices it anywhere in the world, it works. So I want you to begin to think of ways and the things that your spouse have done right and begin to sow those words in your heart. The word of God says, for instance, for a woman, if you're a man watching me, he said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. So what should you begin to say? You begin to speak that life into your wife. You begin to speak it and say, my wife is a good and beautiful gift from the Lord. And as you begin to say it to her and you say it to the firmament, things begin to change. That is the ways that you can begin to speak life to your relationship. Affection will grow, affection can grow, and affection can die. The keys to forever happily living after is in your mouth. My book on turning marital crisis to bliss, I dedicated a chapter to the power in your mouth concerning families. So if you've not yet, read my book on turning marital crisis to bliss, please pick a copy and read it. It will turn your marriage around. There is so much power in the things that you say in your relationship. So it's very important that you know that. I will link below the link to get this book on this video. So ways that you can speak life into your relationship. Have a word of affirmation every day. have a word of affirmation every day. I tell you this, there are things that you say to your spouse that are even deeper than the word I love you. I love you is a very powerful word, but there are some tailored word that you say to your spouse that is heavier than the word I love you. So look for tailored words to begin to speak to your spouse every day. For instance, my husband will tell me my Uromi princess, my Benin queen. That is tailored to me. So look for a tailored word from your language. If you are not a native English speaker, look for a tailored word from your language. Even if your spouse does not understand your language, tell them what that word means in your language and begin to say those words to your spouse. It will become a miracle in your home. They will appreciate it. So the word, the affirmation word, I love you, you look very great, I appreciate you, you are very brave, you're my queen, they are very, or you're my king, they are very powerful affirmation. And please use them. But there are deeper words that might not have English, there is no English words to qualify what you want to say to your wife. Go, pick a word from your own native language and begin to call your wife and your husband. And I tell you, those affirmations will bring life out of your spouse, and you'll be so amazed. I want you to please learn to affirm your spouse. Don't kill the soul that is living with you. Affirm them. Don't make your spouse feel unachieved. No matter where your spouse is right now, even if you have a husband who does not currently have a job or currently not employed, don't take life out of their soul. Speak to them. Like I will always say, the prophecy of every man is in the mouth of their wife. Speak life to that soul. You will be so amazed how strength comes from their inside because you're 100% with them. Don't compare your wife with someone else. Don't have a wife who have flesh, and then you begin to compare them, or compare your wife with someone who is skinny. Don't kill the soul that is living with you. Speak life to them. You will be a source of encouragement to them. You will become a source of strength to them. And I tell you, that will add to your home. You will see the environment of your home. Joy will be restored while you're speaking encouragement. You're speaking life. And every day also begin to speak to the firmament and bless your marriage. And begin to bless wherever your marriage is right now. I don't care how far gone. Begin to bless it. My marriage will work. My marriage will be pleasant. I will stay in this home to my old age, and I will enjoy it to my old age. Begin to speak to the firmament. And if you have an unbelieving husband, begin to decree and declare that my husband will be the priest of this family. His heart shall know the Lord and follow him. Begin to speak life into your marriage. If you have a wife that is used to insulting you, speak life into her. When she sleeps, when she goes out, begin to call. The Bible said that a woman should be submissive to her husband, and begin to call the spirit of submission unto her. And I tell you, you will have a new home. The wife and the husband you are with, they are not the wrong spouses. You don't have the working knowledge to make it work. You don't understand them enough. But I do not think you have a wrong husband or you have a wrong wife. All you need to do is to find out how to make what is in your hand works, and appreciate what is in your hands right now. Your husband you're with, your wife that you're with, and you will be amazed what God will do with your relationship. So thank you so much for watching this broadcast today. I want to encourage you, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Judith Imagoro Ministries. Like and follow my Facebook page at Judith Imagoro Ministries. I want to ask you to partner with me by sharing this broadcast to your friends and your family. You will use this message to bless a home today, and in turn, and in turn, you will be blessed. Thank you, and I will see you again. I will see you again next week. God bless you. Bye bye.